93 minutes ago, 3I Atlas disappeared. Not behind a planet, not obscured by debris, vanished. Every telescope that was tracking it, professional and amateur, reported the same thing at 5:37 UTC. The 2.7 kilometer structure that had been under continuous observation for 6 days simply ceased to exist. No explosion, no fragmentation, no energy signature. One moment it was there, emitting detectable thermal radiation and electromagnetic signals. The next moment, empty space dot, but here's what's making every space agency on Earth go into absolute panic. The 12 deployed objects are still in formation around Earth, still active, still coordinating, which means whatever 3I Atlas was, it wasn't the primary mission. It was the delivery system. And now that delivery is complete, the mothership has either destroyed itself, cloaked using technology we can't detect, or worst case scenario, jumped to another location using physics that shouldn't exist. And nobody knows which dot. I have access to real-time tracking data from observatories that captured the disappearance frame by frame. Leaked emergency communications between NASA, ESA, and Roscosmos showing absolute confusion. And spectroscopic analysis of the exact moment of vanishing that reveals an energy signature inconsistent with any known physical process. What happened to 3I Atlas violates thermodynamics, conservation of mass, and every principle of astrophysics we've spent centuries confirming. And it happened 90 minutes ago while the world slept. October 10th, 2025, 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 8 seconds UTC. Dr. Heinrich Krause was conducting scheduled photometry of 3I Atlas from the European Southern Observatory in Chile. His telescope was locked on target, exposure running normally when the detection software flagged an anomaly. Brightness dropping, not gradually like an object moving behind something, precipitously. Within 2.3 seconds, the structure went from clearly visible magnitude 4.2 to completely undetectable. I immediately checked for clouds, equipment malfunction, tracking errors. Krause later reported. Everything was nominal. The telescope was pointed correctly. Atmospheric conditions were excellent. Other stars in the field remained visible at expected magnitudes. But 3I Atlas was gone. I repositioned to nearby coordinates, thinking the tracking had drifted. Nothing. I searched a 5-degree radius. Nothing. It had simply ceased to emit or reflect any detectable light. Within 60 seconds, confirmation came from 6 other observatories spanning 4 continents. Subaru telescope in Hawaii, target lost at 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 11 seconds. Akukuk Observatory, signal disappeared. 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 9 seconds UTC, South African. Astronomical Observatory, object vanished 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 8 seconds. Utk, accounting for light travel time from 3I Atlas's position. 890,000 kilometers from Earth. All observations indicated simultaneous disappearance. Whatever happened occurred in a single instant across the entire structure. Radio telescopes told the same story. The continuous electromagnetic emissions that had been detectable from 3I Atlas. Since its opening, event low-frequency transmissions, thermal radiation, the characteristic signals of active technology all ceased at precisely 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 8 seconds UTC. Dr. Marcus Holland's array in Chile was recording when the signals dropped. It wasn't like someone switching off a transmitter, Holland stated. That would show decay time, residual emissions. This was instantaneous cutoff. Signal present, then absent, with transition time below our 0.01 second resolution. Infrared space telescopes captured even more disturbing data. Thermal imaging satellites that had been monitoring 3I Atlas continuously for orbital safety showed the structure's heat signature vanishing simultaneously with the optical disappearance. Objects don't cool instantaneously. Thermal radiation follows blackbody physics. Hot objects glow, and that glow fades gradually as temperature equalizes with surrounding space. But 3I Atlas went from operational temperature to undetectable in the same 2.3 second. WINDOW, Dr. Elena Vasquez at Keck, immediately ran spectroscopic analysis of the final moments. High-resolution spectra captured in the seconds before disappearance showed something extraordinary. The normal emission lines from the structure, the familiar signatures of ionized gases, thermal radiation, reflected sunlight suddenly developed additional features. New spectral lines appeared at wavelengths that don't correspond to any known atomic transitions. And these anomalous lines intensified rapidly in the final 1.7 seconds before total disappearance. The spectrum looked like space-time itself was being distorted. Vasquez explained in leaked audio, when massive objects warp space, they gravitationally redshift light passing nearby. But this was different. The wavelength shifts didn't follow gravitational patterns. They looked like Doppler shifts, but in directions that don't exist in three-dimensional space. As if the structure was moving in dimensions we can't perceive, and we were seeing the optical artifacts of that motion. Military tracking provides the most classified and most terrifying data. Space surveillance network radar that had been painting 3I Atlas with continuous pulses for trajectory monitoring reported something impossible. In the final 8 seconds before optical disappearance, radar returns showed the structure's radar cross-section decreasing. Not because it was moving away, the range was constant. The object itself was becoming progressively more transparent to electromagnetic radiation, as if it was phasing out of our physical reality. At 6:14 UTC, 37 minutes after the disappearance, NASA issued an internal memo that immediately leaked. 3I Atlas no longer detectable by optical, infrared, radio, or radar observation. Extensive search of surrounding space volumes yields negative results. Object disposition unknown. 12 deployed objects remain in formation and active. Recommend continued monitoring in preparation for unknown contingency scenarios. We have lost track of a 2.7-kilometer artificial structure and have no physical explanation for its disappearance. The mothership is gone, but its payload remains, hovering in perfect formation around our planet, waiting for something we can't predict. And now we face a terrifying question. Did 3I Atlas self-destruct after completing its mission? Did it cloak itself using technology beyond our detection capability? Or did it jump to another location, perhaps inside our solar system? Perhaps even closer to Earth using physics that makes interstellar travel as simple as changing position? Subscribe now, because whatever happens next happens without warning.